only delayed the consequences, and now that the Ryder Cup is over, the bill is due. The situation became even more complicated when the DP World Tour flat out rejected an offer from LIV Golf to pay the players' fines collectively. This was a clear signal that the tour's stance wasn't just about money. It was about upholding the rules and enforcing accountability. The DP World Tour wanted to set a precedent. Defecting to a rival tour without consequences is unacceptable. Former PGA Tour player Smiley Kaufman captured the frustration felt by many on his podcast, The Smiley Show. He said, "There are rules. If you're a member of this tour, you can't just join a rival tour." His words reflect the deep divisions caused by LIV Golf rifts that have split families, friendships, and now threaten to tear the Ryder Cup apart. The atmosphere is charged, and both sides are digging in. For the DP World Tour, it's a matter of survival and staying relevant in a rapidly changing landscape. For Rahm, it's a matter of freedom and self-worth. And then, amid the escalating battle, came the revelation that defined the standoff. Asked about the mounting fines and the looming consequences, Jon Rahm responded with a disarmingly casual remark that exposed the core of his attitude. With a smile, he said, "I completely forgot about it, which is a good thing." This comment, seemingly lighthearted, was actually a powerful statement. It showed that the fines did not intimidate him mentally. He had already moved on. It wasn't forgetfulness. It was a deliberate choice to ignore the DP World Tour's pressure. This revelation, combined with the news that the tour rejected LIV's settlement offer, made it clear that there was no simple way out. The lines had been drawn. The DP World Tour demanded that Rahm personally pay his fines to maintain his membership and Ryder Cup eligibility. Rahm's reaction made it clear he had no intention of bowing to pressure. The confrontation had become inevitable, and the stakes were higher than ever. The future of one of Europe's biggest golf icons in the world's most prestigious team event. The analysis of this situation reveals a complex web of pride, politics, and the changing economics of sport. Rahm's refusal to pay is not merely a financial decision, it is a symbolic act of defiance. By joining LIV Golf on a contract reportedly worth hundreds of millions, he has gained a level of financial independence previously unimaginable. From his perspective, the DP World Tour's fines are trivial, but the principle of being forced to pay a tour he sees as restrictive is unacceptable. He views himself as an independent contractor with the right to monetize his talent wherever he chooses. This clashes directly with the traditional membership model of the PGA and DP World Tours, which demand loyalty and exclusivity in exchange for a competitive platform. The DP World Tour's refusal to accept money from LIV reinforces their stance. This is not about money, but about control. They are trying to stem the flow of players to LIV and preserve their own value and authority. The implications for the Ryder Cup are enormous. If Rahm loses his membership, he is under current rules ineligible for the 2027 Ryder Cup in Adare Manor, Ireland. This would be a massive blow to Team Europe. Rahm is not just another player, he is a leader, an emotional engine, and a points machine. His partnership with Tyrrell Hatton was one of the highlights in Rome, and his passion for the event is unmatched. A Ryder Cup without Rahm would not only weaken Europe competitively, but also damage the credibility and prestige of the event itself. It raises the question, is the Ryder Cup still a battle between the best players in Europe and the United States, if some of the best players are sidelined due to tour politics? Fans, sponsors, and organizers are being forced to confront what matters more: tour tradition or the quality of competition. The pressure on the DP World Tour to find a solution will grow as 2027 approaches, but for now, they are standing firm. As the storm swirls around him, Rahm has decided to take a step back. He announced that he will take a 4-month break from the DP World Tour after a season that, despite 12 top 10 finishes, was disappointing by his standards, as it marked the first time since 2016 that he did not win a single individual title. His next scheduled appearance is the 2026 LIV Golf season opener in Riyadh. This break could be seen as a period of reflection, but also as a strategic move. It gives tensions time to cool, but also increases pressure on the DP World Tour, which will have to do without one of its biggest stars for an extended period. The question hanging over the golf world is, who will blink first? Will Rahm ultimately decide that his Ryder Cup legacy is worth the fines? Or will the DP World Tour, under pressure from players, fans, and sponsors, adjust its rules and reach a compromise? The future of the Ryder Cup and Jon Rahm's career hang in the balance. Now that the dust has settled from the 2025 Ryder Cup, the golf world looks ahead, and Rahm's future is more uncertain than ever. The decision he makes will not only shape his career, but could also reshape the future relationship between the traditional tours and LIV Golf. The 2027 Ryder Cup in Adare Manor looms on the horizon, and the thought of a European team without its Spanish talisman is unthinkable to many. Will he pay the fines and secure his place in Ryder Cup history? Or will he stick to his principles and risk watching one of the sport's most iconic events from the sidelines? This is more than a conflict about money. It is a battle for the soul of professional golf. Jon Rahm has shown his hand. Now it's up to the DP World Tour to decide how they play theirs. The world is watching, and the legacy of one of the greatest players of his generation hangs in the balance. What do you think he should do? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of golf, don't forget to subscribe for more stories you won't hear anywhere else.
The big news that has come out this week, which has been rumored for months, is that LIV Golf, which again, Roman numeral 54, is changing one of its central tenets from 54 holes of competition to 72 holes of competition.
The LIV Golf League, the rebel tour that turned the golf world upside down with loud music, shotgun starts, and a 54-hole format, has just blown up its own identity. In a move that completely stunned players and critics alike, the Saudi-funded tour has announced that it is abandoning its signature format. Beginning in 2026, all LIV tournaments will be played over 72 holes, a direct copy of the traditional tours it once vowed to disrupt. This shocking reversal comes at a time when the tour is grappling with more than $1 billion in losses, raising a crucial question. Is this a strategic masterstroke or an act of desperation? If you want the truth behind the headlines shaking the golf world, make sure to stay subscribed. This decision is an earthquake for a tour whose name LIV, the Roman numeral for 54, was based on the very format it is now dropping. Since its founding in 2022, the 54-hole three-day event was the cornerstone of their marketing. A faster, more modern, fan-friendly alternative to the boring four-day tournaments of the PGA Tour. Players were lured in with guaranteed money and lighter schedules, and fans were promised a product that was different. But behind the scenes of glitter and glamour, problems kept piling up. The biggest obstacle was the lack of official World Golf Ranking, OWGR, points. A crucial requirement for players to gain access to the four majors, the tournaments that define careers. The OWGR rejected LIV's application, partly due to its unconventional format. Now, after years of struggle, and with players plummeting down the rankings, LIV appears to be capitulating. The announcement, which shocked the golf world on the 4th of November 2025, confirmed that beginning with the 2026 season, all events will shift to a four-day, 72-hole format starting on Thursday. Although the team competition, another unique aspect of LIV, will remain, the core of what made LIV different has vanished. This change is undoubtedly an attempt to appease the OWGR committee and finally secure the long-desired ranking points. Without those points, LIV stars, despite their massive contracts, are becoming increasingly irrelevant in the context of the majors. Former world number one Dustin Johnson is a stark example. He has fallen to an astonishing 604th place in the world rankings. For players like him, entry into the Masters, the U.S. Open, the Open, and the PGA Championship is no longer guaranteed. The switch to 72 holes is a gamble, an attempt to crack open the door to the majors before it slams shut for good. The financial backdrop of this decision is equally dramatic. Recent financial documents from LIV Golf's UK arm revealed staggering losses of more than $1.1 billion since its inception. In 2024 alone, the loss exceeded $461 million. Independent financial directors even expressed